An important thing that we do as Christian teachers and leaders is that we teach and we train. It's very important that we train people as to things that helps to promote the faith. And the Apostle Paul was no exception to this. And of course, he had the responsibility of going into cities and winning converts. And these are people who had never experienced Christ before, had never come to the salvation reality in their life, and they were new. We described them as being babes in Christ. And so there was a lot of things that needed to be taught to them. So we find that the Apostle Paul is in the city of Corinth. And of course, he invested 1.5 years in that church and that ministry, as well as his mentoring, even as he left. And of course, he wrote these letters to this church. But in chapter number 9, he talks about the very important thing called giving. And he was teaching them about the importance of having a heart to give. And he talks about 2 different regions, Macedonia and Achaia. And he talks about how that they were forward in their thinking. And he said that for over 1 year, they have been prepared and literally excited about giving. And of course, we know that during this time, there had been a prophetic word. There was going to be a great drought that was going to take place. And so they were gathering up money to send to Jerusalem for the relief of the saints back there. Tremendous concept, this whole thing about giving. But one of the things about it is that it is so contrary to the human nature in the aspect of the carnal person. The very idea that I would just give away of my finances. Because one of the things that I found in life is that people are very attached to their money. Probably one of the most important things in our minds if we're just thinking in the carnal realm or the carnal sense. Our money, because our money represents so much power. And to be of a heart to say, I would just freely and willingly and excitedly just give of my money to some cause that I might see as being important. Well, throughout the time of the Christian faith, generosity of people has helped us to be able to keep the churches open and to keep the evangelists on the road and keep the missionaries going overseas and sharing the gospel and all the things that we consider to be important. These things all require financing. And that's why it's important that those of us who believe in the gospel message have a heart of generosity. But it's more than just that. Is that we would understand the principles of giving. And the Bible is full of these teachings about give, and God partners with you. And forming that partnership with God to where as you generously and freely invest in the kingdom, God will in return invest in you. This is Pastor Jack King with the gospel on the radio broadcast.